We are in a generation where if you don't have a certified hit in terms of live service and in some cases single player games, your game will die. We're not going to have Saints Row no more. They already confirmed that last Saints Row remake game is the final Saints Row game. So that's how we're leaving Saints Row off. Like, that's the mark Saints Row left off, was that, you know, bad Gen Z humor Saints Row game. It wasn't even gangster at all. There's no more Killzone. There's no more Resistance, Sly Cooper. All those great games we had in the PS2, PS3 era, only 20 years ago, not even that long ago, matter of fact. All those great games and all those like just solid games, like the solid mid-tier games, the 6, 7, oh my God, the 6, the 7s, the 8s out of 10s. Like, if your game isn't a certified hit in this generation, in this economy as well, your game will die. What's good, YouTube? It's NoWayJeric, and today we're going to be talking about, as you can see by the title of the video, why your favorite game genre or your favorite games back in the day, those mid games, those like special, you know, hidden treasures you have dear to your heart, why those games are dead and why companies, devs, they don't make those games anymore because, of course, they don't make any money. But before we get into that, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I've been out of commission for a while. I had some personal stuff happen, so I took some time away, but I'm getting better each day. You know, time heals everything, and I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be in front of the mic again. It's been probably a month maybe since I made a video. I dropped a video on success that I think y'all really enjoy, my past video. If y'all want to check that out. But I haven't been in front of a mic in a minute. This is like the first time and like probably the longest I've ever gone not making any content or just making any new content or being in front of the mic. But anyways, though, as I said before, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. So first off, as we know, the economic state of the world right now is in a pretty bad shape, especially in the U.S. I mean, not to get too political. I will if I have to, but not to get too political because that's not the point of the video. Just, you know, the economic state of the world right now is in a really bad shape. We've regressed a lot since COVID, and we're trying to, you know, pick it back up, but it's been horrible. We've seen so many layoffs across not just games, but every other type of, you know, job, occupation. You know, hopefully if you're watching this video, you didn't get laid off or you still have your job. Like, if you have a job nowadays, hey, salute to you, because like it's gonna be hard as hell trying to get a McDonald's job in the next couple of years, or even a Wendy's job. If 500 people are competing for 5 jobs, that means 495 people won't have a job anymore. I got that quote from the Black Hokage, another YouTuber. But that, bro, if you like go by that statement, like think about how bad that is for like every single job, not just games, but that just goes for every job in general. Like it's gonna look bad. Like we low-key are in a recession. But anyways, though, not to get too political, because, you know what I'm saying, this is a gaming video, but I will if I have to. Y'all want more content like that, let me know. But the cost of games has been increasingly going up more and more again. As we could, like GTA 6, I'm pretty sure is gonna cost like a couple $1 billion for sure, like $1 billion. And like other live service games, like excuse me, like Marathon that just came out, had like a big budget. A lot of these new games, like Dragon Age Vanguard, had a big budget. A lot of these games, single player and live service games, like combined, they all have big ass budgets, and that's like your costs, your overhead for these games are big as hell. Then the game comes out and it doesn't even like break even. It comes nowhere close to breaking even, and of course they don't make their money back. So it's like companies are looking at, you know, their games that these devs are making, and they're like, if we don't get our return back, you're like, your ass is gone. Like, you're fired. Like that happened with Highguard. That even happened recently with Battlefield 6. I don't know if y'all saw, but EA laid off like a lot of the DICE devs, but Battlefield 6 made like $1 billion. I think it made the fact check me if I'm wrong. I think it made like $1.8 billion, but I think that's not including all the microtransactions that came with the game. So the game probably made north of $2 billion, and you still laid them off. Like they definitely made their money back and even more with Battlefield 6, and EA still laid them off. So it doesn't even, like, at this point, what the hell do you have to do? You can make a banger and it makes tons of money and you still get laid off for no reason. Like that, like Hi-Fi Rush, for example, a couple years ago, I talked about this game in one of my previous videos. That game was a critical darling, critical success. Didn't make that much, or I'm pretty sure they did like break even at least. Bro, Microsoft bought that company out. I forgot the name of the studio. They brought that studio out and they still fired them, like laid off the entire, because they were going to make a Hi-Fi Rush 2, laid off the entire studio dev team for that game. And it's like, what the hell do you have to do now in this era to keep a job? Like, it's crazy, bro. And like I said earlier in the video, the cost of games have gone up tremendously in the past 10 years. And that's due to the rise of live service games. So Fortnite, PUBG, all the live service sports games, 2K, Madden, FIFA, GTA 5, which is still like top 10 selling best game or top 10 best selling game every year since 2013. My nigga, can y'all please hop off GTA 5 for like one day? Stop buying this damn game. Stop buying shark cards. Marvel Rivals, all the different extraction shooters like Arc Raiders, and then you got all the mixed, like the mid to like failure games mixed in, like Redfall or High Guard, all the failure of all these Fallout 76, like way back in the day, that's considered a live service game, a fucking ass game, fucking failure. I bought that game day one. Gaming is in a great spot with the sheer amount of quality games we get nowadays, especially single player games. We really don't get bad games for real. Like, the only bad game off the top of my head, like I can remember that was like really bad and like a lot of people hated that shit because it was broken. It was like a bad game was Mindside that came out last year. That was an actual like ass piece of shit ass game. Like, that game was actually horrible. But we really don't get that many bad games compared to like what we used to get back in the PS2 to PS3 era. Like, if a game is like functional and it works and it's optimized, it's at least like a 5. It's at least decent. But everything else after that, like in terms of how good the gameplay is all subjective. If the game works, it's a 5. Everything else is just your opinion. But I think one of the reasons like these companies are scared to try and make new IPs or like bring back past franchises that we all love, like a Sly Cooper, a Jack and Dexter, a Resistance, like I'm just naming off games off the top of my head, it's because they have live service games, like the way they're being made, the way they're being like pushed right now and like made is because the shareholders and the higher ups want them to make those games. They need to make money. Like I said earlier, we live in an unstable economy right now. Motherfuckers want to make money like that, or these shareholders, like all these bosses, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, their main thing is like, yo, we need to make money the best way and the cheapest way possible. And that's why we're going to get a lot of more live service games in the future. Like, there's going to be good ones like Marathon, but there's also going to be trash ones like fucking High Guard. That's why we ain't getting another Splinter Cell, Sleeping Dogs, a good NBA Jam game, not that damn NBA Playgrounds bullshit, Def Jam, Titanfall 3, etc. We're not getting another Titanfall. We also play a part in this too because the casual fan base keeps going back and playing these live service games because they have a transactional relationship with them. They have sunken cost fallacy, which means like if you brought skins over the years, like you have a $1,000 account worth of just Apex skins or COD skins or Fortnite skins, you're going to want to keep going back and playing that game because you have a relationship with that game. You have sunken cost fallacy. No matter how good or how bad the game is, you're going to keep going back regardless because you spent so much of your time and resources in this game. Same thing for NBA 2K. Niggas have 10 builds. Niggas be having 10 builds. Niggas be having fully Opal team and my team just spending money on packs, gambling. Like, it's like a symbiotic relationship with these games, and it just falls to sucking cost fallacy. Furthermore, this point might be a little controversial and it might piss off some people, but like, if you're a fan of like fighting games, stealth games, racing games, all those different type of genres, unfortunately, even though it might not feel like it right now because we're going to have banger stealth games like James Bond, for example, or Forza, or all these different fighting games like Invincible and Marvel Token, you're going to see less and less of these games like in the future because if those games don't hit, if they don't make enough money, if they're not a home run, they're not going to be made anymore. Like, what I mean by that is all these publishers care about is making the most money possible. I'm going to keep going back and drilling that point into y'all. That sounds crazy. Pause. There's not going to be, like I said earlier, mid games or average titles anymore coming out yearly. Publishers aren't going to invest in a 2-year passion project or like a weird low to mid budget IP. And instead, like everyone be saying on social media, it's going to be more live service slop. You're not going to have people being innovative. You're not going to have people trying to do something different with the amount of resources that they have, the talent team, their talent, like their dev team. That's why you had Arcane, who makes like the Arcane Studio, Austin, I'm pretty sure, who made Prey. They made Redfall. Redfall was a fucking disaster. It was fucking horrible. You're going to have more companies, more publishers do that to their devs. They're going to have them make live service games. They're going to have people who make stealth games make first person shooter live service games. That sounds horrible. It's a bad thing. I want to give a shout out to this one tweet I saw, but I cannot remember the content creator. If I find his name, I'll drop it. I can't remember the name of it, but the quote was like, the lack of video game investment has vanished, but the amount of investment needed has exploded. Going back to my original point, when was the last time we saw a AAA stealth game, a AAA racing game? Apart from the powerhouses, like I said, in that genre, like a Hitman, a Forza, a Need for Speed, a Street Fighter, a Tekken, maybe Mortal Kombat. I don't know what NetherRealm's gonna do after Mortal Kombat 1. The state of that game, that shit might be done for. When was the last time you saw like a AAA game of that magnitude apart from the powerhouses? There's none. Like, we ain't never gonna see a Burnout. We're never gonna see a Splinter Cell. Like, those games will probably never come back, and that's due to the live service games, the rise of live service games. That could be the title of my video, actually, the rise of live service. That could be, but honestly, like, that's the truth. Like, we're not gonna have those games that we loved growing up as a kid be made anymore. It's just gonna be more live service games. Thirdly, I want to kind of transition to like the Steam side, the PC side of all this. Steam has obviously been like the #1 platform for games for the last, I don't know how many years. They came up being the only Steam or like PC marketplace to buy games, the main one. And then you had other, companies trying to do their own marketplace kind of thing, like Origin, what's the Battle.net for COD, I think. But Steam has always been the main competitor. That's where you get all the games from. They have been pumping out more and more games over the years, but the issue is that gamers aren't buying new games. They're not going to buy a new fire indie game that comes out on Steam. No, they're going to continue to play CSGO and Marvel Rivals. Like, it's just because of their investment into these live service games. And I'm not saying those games in specific are the reason why, gaming, quote unquote, might be dead or might be, is going to go in a dark place. I like to invest some time in the live service games too. I play lives. I'm literally a Call of Duty content creator. I want to say I've been making other videos than COD, but like, I built this channel off making Call of Duty content. So obviously I like to play live service games. I buy 2K every year because guess what, nigga? I'm a basketball fan. That's the only basketball game on the market that's actually good. Like, so I too like to invest some time, not money, but some time into live service games. So it's not, though, like 2K and COD are, part of the issue. Don't get it wrong. But like CSGO, Marvel Rivals, not so much, because those games are actually good. Marvel Rivals might be a little deceptive with how they be charging, people for skins, and then the whole CSGO weapon skins controversy that's been going on. But anyways, though, they have been pumping out more and more games, but people aren't buying them because, like I said, you're going to go back to 2K, you're going to go back to COD, you're going to go back to CSGO, which also correlates to another problem that I said earlier, or not earlier, but in one of my previous videos, that most gamers don't be buying new games because they're still on GTA 5, a 13-year-old game, by the way, that came out 2 generations ago. Most gamers only buy 2 to 4 games a year, which all happen to be COD, 2K, Madden, FIFA. Like I said, I'm going to keep drilling this part into y'all's brain. So finding and discovering new games is hard for people. It's hard for most casuals. You have to keep their attention as much as possible with their live service games. That issue right there is why I think this is one of the biggest problems and why gaming as a whole could decline. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, and we won't see it anytime soon, but it's definitely a rising trend. I've been telling y'all, if you like certain games like COD, like 2K, like Marvel Rivals, like, you might like other alternatives from that game. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think we're getting another Killzone, another Resistance, another Motorstorm, or another Inmates versus ATV, classic by the way. Another Little Big Planet, even though y'all hated on Astrobot, Little Big Planet, that ain't never coming back. Need for Speed is supposedly dead. I don't think EA is gonna be making any new Need for Speed games, so that shit's like, cross that shit out. When are we gonna Sly Cooper? I'm pretty sure I said that earlier. Rayman, one of my favorite platformers. I can go on and on and on about the amount of games that were amazing and crucial to our childhood, that were classics, because back in the day it wasn't about making money, it was just making good quality games. Like, it was fresh, it was new, and so many companies were making bangers. Still happens now, but I feel like at a lesser level. There's not going to be those sevens, those sixes. Like, I don't want to, I said it backwards. You see how I did that? I said it backwards. Those sevens, those sixes, those eights, those like solid games we had back in the day, they're not going to be around anymore. It's going to be, everything might turn into like homogenized and formulaic with like, you know, how games look, how games feel, especially in the live service realm. And like I said, we get like casuals, like, I feel like as a hardcore and passionate gamer, I hate to say this, but it might be our job to like put some of these bowling gun gamers onto games that we love and that we play. Like, if somebody asked me top of my head, yo, Jeric, give me a game right now you think I should play. I've just been playing COD and FIFA for the past, you know, few years, and I want to play something new. I'm gonna tell him, yo, bro, you like Star Wars? He might see like, oh yeah, I'm a casual Star Wars fan, but I enjoy it. Yo, play Jedi Fallen Order and play Jedi Survivor. You're gonna love those games. If somebody asks me, another person, yo, Jeric, I've been playing 2K. I just love like how the gameplay feels. You know, the dribble and the shooting and all that. But of course, all the cheaters have been invading 2K. So I was wondering, what game would you suggest I play right now? I'm telling him, yo, you enjoy greeting your shot and greeting that timing and all that. Yo, play Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It has one of the best mechanics in terms of like timing a certain mechanic, and you know, in that tight window, it has the best mechanic in terms of that of all time. Like, Sekiro is one of the best games of all time. So, you know, a person like me, if you ask me like randomly what game you think I should start playing, I'm gonna have a like full ass list of games I think you should play, because I'm passionate about gaming and I know what people want to play. I think like if there was like an A&R for video games, like there is for music, like I would be a video game A&R. Like I know bangers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna tell people what they want to play, especially if I know what type of game you are. I know what games people want to play. But anyways, though, I feel like if you are like me, like if people ask you that question, that's your job. So in conclusion, the top of the gaming market gets, you know, bloated, like I said, diluted, homogenized, swimmy lake, all the words you want to use. The bottom of the poll turns into like a chaotic frenzy, and the mid literally becomes non-existent. There isn't going to be mid-level games anymore. There's not going to be sevens. There's not going to be, you know, I like Division. I think, you know, Ubisoft kind of had like a not a hit, but they definitely had a good product they could have like made better. But you know, live service games have their times, and that was like 7 years ago. If they are making a Division 3, there's definitely like a lot of stuff they can learn from Division 1 and Division 2. And even that, like, I saw Division 2 had like 20K players go back and play that damn realism mode. My nigga, it's too damn late. That was 7 years ago. I was in high school. I was a senior in high school. It's too late to be adding that damn mode. I've always hated that about Division 2. Division is like fucking bullet spongy. I know that's like the core shooting mechanics, but it's always been bullet spongy as fuck. I'm like, bro, I'm cool off that. If we can't get motherfuckers off Division 2, what game can we get motherfuckers off of? What game can we get people to stop playing that came out, you know, more than 5 years ago? GTA 5, like that's the main one. Like, of course, League and CS, that's like, you know, franchises that have been around for 20, 30 years. World of Warcraft, obviously, that was like the big. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, back in the day, if you had World of Warcraft and you were like a kid, like you were low-key rich. You low-key was balling if you were able to afford World of Warcraft. That shit was expensive back in the day. Anyways, though, like that was like the first big main one. Like those games are like, you know, legacy. It's like legacy players, all that. Like those are like set in stone franchises. But anyways, though, it's crazy. Like, this has become an issue in every single type of media apart from video games in the world. I mean, you see it with movies when MCU was on the rise and all these movies were being like there's a rise of superhero movies, and all these movies were just, you know, about the spectacle, about the big fucking in-game moments in movies. Even in music, like with the long ass double albums and everybody moving to streaming platforms, you know, to get all those sales. That's why there's so many long ass albums, because people want you to stream the album over and over again, because you're not gonna listen. Most people aren't gonna listen to a 20-song album in 2 hours, or a 30-song album in 2 hours. It's not gonna happen. So the tactic is never going to go away. It's actually sad. Once the middle pack is gone, everything will become, like I said, safer. You're going to get a rehash of what came before, and it's all going to look just formulaic and just samey. Gaming for sure will probably be the #1 medium in the world, like it's always been for the past, 5-10 years. But in terms of like sales, like popularity, but like the culture as a whole, it probably won't move forward. Like, I hate to say it, but it probably won't get in a better spot, because the economy, the world is not in a better spot, and that's going to reflect on video games. So, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I ended that video. That was fire. Hold on. First day back. Hold on. Anyways, though, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, these niggas in this gameplay right here was not catching me. You can see I was going crazy in this gameplay. But anyways, though, hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below your thoughts on the whole gaming sphere as a whole. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day.